Alright, so I'm just enjoying the trip back from Virginia after really having some fun down there, going back home to Chicago and just appreciating the country that Black Americans made with their blood, sweat, and tears. And so, as I consider the Native Americans who died and lost their land, as I drive through it, I'm always reminding myself that this country is not simply built on European ideals and capitalistic values. No. But this gets me into the thing about how too many white Americans have mastered the art of bullshit talk. How to bullshit talk their way to convince people of their lies. And that bullshit talk, it's amazing when you watch it as it happens and you break it down and then you find ways to counter it. Like I did get to have a conversation with a Confederate sympathizer, and I was able to pretty much break him down. It was awesome being able to explain to him how slavery was evil, and it doesn't matter what the North intentions were. If the South wanted to make a stand and do the right thing, they could have just freed the slaves, freed them right then and there, and Lincoln would have had no leg to stand on. But the South didn't. The South wanted to continue slavery, and they wanted to expand it. They wanted to invade Mexico and Cuba and even parts of South America and establish a southern slave empire. And so, for me, hearing people explain away and justify stuff while they're scheming to do evil things in the background, well, that's just downright sadistic. And so when I go on and on ranting against flat earthers, I recognize that there's a segment of the white American population that simply practices on how to rhetoric bullshit and to convince or compel or coerce people to believe them through the force of their arrogant personalities. But there's also a fear factor involved where I guess a lot of people of color, we get concerned about the retaliation if we resist or take a stand. Are we gonna get ourselves escalated into a physical confrontation and the police are gonna believe the white racist piece of garbage? Or are we gonna have our livelihoods destroyed by some behind the scenes tactics, where we're standing up in the open and then we're, pretty much targeted because of it? And that's really the only two things that matter. That's where the police come in, and that's where, the system comes in. Because when people talk about the system and, how black people are oppressed and all these things, it's really kind of vague. But the fact of the matter is that when confronting a white person with their racist hate bullshit and you want to take a stand, you have to be concerned about escalating conflict that can allow them to call the police and use the police as leverage, even when they lie to them, and the police being prejudiced, and they're going to perpetuate the cycle, and you losing your job or having your business screwed with because you've been targeted by white racist people, where they will try to perpetuate lies about you, lies about what you're doing as a form of vindictive retaliation because you had the audacity to stand up to them. That's what it's about. This isn't mysterious. And so when I rant on against flat earthers, for instance, I'm amazed at the level of ignorance that is sanctified with white privilege, arrogant bullshit talk. And I'm more fascinated with how many people give them the benefit of a doubt. And that benefit of a doubt is what pisses me off, because not being afraid of your livelihood or of escalating conflict turning into a jail cell situation, that's one thing. But there are people who really buy into the whole racist bullshit. Like, not the arguments, but taking these racist people seriously. My only goal is to practice countering the rhetoric, so that when I go into places that require a quick response and a compelling response and an effective way to neutralize, that's what it is. It's, you go into a situation and you have an audience that amongst those people in the audience are people who are easily bought in to the bullshit, and they are easily swayed. And if a liar is going to be swaying with his lies, then the issue becomes one of what must you say and how quickly can you say it. Because I have watched in town halls, I'm not going to say what part of Virginia I was in, but I was, watching a couple of political engagements where the audience is involved, and it was frustrating to listen to people make up those conservative right-wing bullshit talking points and then not hear a decisive, easy response to just neutralize it, to just call it out for what it is, and to destroy it, so that whatever it is that was being decided on was decided on. So I figured, Virginia's a hot spot, North Carolina's a hot spot. You go there, you get a sense of what kind of southern white kinfolk are like what is it that they do? Like, how do they believe in some of this nonsense that perpetuates racism? How do they justify it? And seeing and hearing what I saw and heard really brought a tear to my eye, because there's just no reason that some of this bullshit, some of this Second Amendment over the top bullshit should be acceptable. It's awesome. It's like, damn, you just need to make up an excuse. And when black people bring this stuff up, it's don't play the race card. Well, here's what I'm gonna say about the race card. Play the fucking race card. Play that race card so fucking hard, because they play the race card all the time. Racist white pieces of garbage play the race card every fucking day. They keep it in their vest. They keep it in their back pocket. They try to use it in a really sneaky kind of a way. Implications and insinuations and wink wink hint hints. And they want to make black people silent, docile followers that can only do as they're told politically. And I'm one of those people that speaks up and disrupts that nice little shindig. Yeah. So that's my spiel about racism and white supremacy and all that good stuff. You got to be able to speak up, and I wish multiple black people in any political public forum would be able to speak up one after the other to neutralize the bullshit talking points. It's just not right. It's not right. But that's what has to happen on a local and state level, because the federal government is so wishy-washy. You gotta take over those state and local municipalities to make a difference.